Hi everyone. I recently did a video on tying a race fly, and I hope to revise it soon to make it a little bit more presentable. I also thought that maybe I should make a video on the materials used to make a race fly, sort of like a race fly 101, telling you the basics and what materials used and why I chose to use them. You may notice that this picture right here is actually an oil painting that Ken Abrams used in his book Stripe a Moon. It was at the head of chapter 5, which was ironically on flies. Well, anyway, for the race fly, I prefer to use one type of hook. It's Eagle Claw 254. 1/0 is my favorite size, although I do tie them in 2 and 3 and all different sizes, but I like 1/0. The advantage to this hook, besides being inexpensive, it's easily sharpened and stays sharp, but the primary thing is it has a big eye, bigger than most hooks this size. And this makes easy tying, especially at night when you don't want to turn on your headlamp. Well, after we put the hook in the vise, we're going to need some thread, and for thread I use monocord. I prefer to use the light yellow one, although I will use this light green, which appears much darker than light green in this video. The advantage to the yellow one, and the feature that I really like, is that when you're tying in the final step, the Peacock Herl topping, the head will have a dark top and a yellow underneath. It sort of makes a two-tone head. Well, once we get the thread wrapped on, we're going to need some body material, and the body for the race fly is Bill's Body Braid, in silver or in pearl. I prefer to use the silver for most of my patterns, but I will use the pearl if I'm tying race flies and I know that some sand eagles around. Bill's Body Braid was marketed by Bill Peabody of Portsmouth, Mass. I believe my mentioning of tying my flies using Bill's Body Braid was the first mention of this material, and as a result, Bill gave me a lifetime supply of body braid. Well, next we're going to go to the bucktail. The base layer in the race fly is a white bucktail, as most of you know, and I prefer the crinkly kind. I don't like the straight stuff. To me, the crinkly kind appears more translucent, the water fills the voids, and it gives the fly a more lifelike appearance. I mean, you can use the straight stuff, straight bucktail, but it's really more opaque and it's dense. It doesn't, I don't know, it lacks luster, or actually it lacks life. Next, we have Blackabou, which is used in between the yellow and white and the yellow and olive layers on the fly. I played around with all types of Blackabou, different colors, different color combinations, even crystal flash, the whole 9 yards, but I eventually settled on pearl. And a second choice was actually this other Blackabou, which is like an olive yellow pearl. The number is 6969. That worked decent. It makes a nice looking fly, but most of my flies are all tied using pearl Blackabou. Next, the fun starts. And there's many different colors available. And for yellow, I find like the one to the right is too radiant, too fluorescent. The one to the far left is too strong a yellow. I like to use this guy right here, a light yellow, and that's my preferred choice in colors. The ones that are fluorescent type can actually be bleached out by being left in the sun for a period of time. For years I drove around with a fluorescent yellow bucktail on my dash, seasoning it, just keeping an eye on it to see when it reached the right color. As for olive, there's a big selection of olive out there. Some are too brown, and then you have some that are too green. I like this guy right here. It's sort of matches the color of silversides and sand eels and such. Next is the Peacock Herl. Strung herl, I wind up using 4 or 5 strands. If I was picking herl from an eye, where the herl is normally much thicker, you only wind up with 3 or 4 strands. But I don't like to put overloaded with Herl. I just want a slight definition to the top of the fly. I don't want to overwhelm it with a dark color because it takes away from the rest of the fly. Anyway, that's about it. It's race fly is easy to tie, but there are a few things I wanted you to know, and I hope this helps in tying maybe a better pattern. As a final note, a lot of people have trouble with the race fly, saying that it fouls easily and all this. Well, it has nothing to do with the fly, that particular problem. In my mind, it has to do with the casting and the fast action rods and the tight loops and such. If you open your loop, slow down your casting stroke, you'll probably find that the fly doesn't follow quite as much as before, and seldom, if ever, will follow. I have never had a continual following problem like some people suggest. But anyway, hope this video helped, and we'll catch you later. Bye.